Everyone, Brandon here with Shepherd Tactical Supply. Today we're going to go over the installation of our performance blocker for the Taurus G3 series of pistols. Tools that you're going to need your hammer, and you're going to need a 3/32 punch. Okay, so right now we're going to be using my Taurus G3C. Had Ned at the home office millet for the Vortex Defender, which is what's riding on it right now. Weapon is clear. It is also wearing, since Taurus now makes the G3 series Glock sight compatible, our suppressor height Glock sights for co-witness purposes. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and take the slide off. You're going to take out your guide rod and barrel. Now, I like to take my bench block, have it sitting like this, and bench block is just tall enough that when you've got your Defender or similar sized optic, it's not going to touch anything. And the first thing you're going to do, and the reason we have the hammer, you don't always need it, but sometimes you do, is you'll take your 3/32, and as you can see, you have your blocker, and then you have this pin here. So what we're going to do is we're going to push in on that pin, and sometimes it's stuck, especially if it's a newer gun, hasn't been broken in yet, hasn't been shot a lot. That thing can be real stiff, so you'll just give it a tap. Then what I like to do is I'll take the back, whoop, that is why we keep our thumbs over things, but I got ahead of myself. Take the back out of the extractor first while keeping the thumb over, because that will take off. Now, as you can see, bench is a little dirty, got some Kydex junk all over it. As you can see, it's a two-piece. It's a plunger and a spring. So spring goes inside the plunger. We're just going to set that right back inside there. Sometimes you need to turn it on its side, give it a little guidance with the punch, but you get the idea. There it sits. Okay, now we're going to keep a finger over that. We're going to dump out our blocker. Now, sometimes the spring will come out, sometimes it won't. Taurus does a really good job of greasing their springs before they send it out from the factory. And do not remove the factory grease until it all wears out. So if your spring stays in, great. Just take your blocker, put your new blocker in. If your spring doesn't stay in, obviously put it inside your blocker with a little dab of grease. Stick her on down in there. Dab, tiny dab. Don't fill it with grease. Just enough to keep it lubricated. Then, all right, so we're going to put our extractor back in. You'll notice the extractor has a lip. So you want to come from inside the slide in the front. I'm holding the spring inside the extractor. I'm going to turn it. So you can see. Now, I'm going to place it back down here. I'm going to push down, and this is where it gets a little... I'll place my spring inside there. This is where it gets a little iffy. Sometimes you got to play with this before you go and put your extractor back in, so you can make sure that's lined up. Alright, spring's in, extractor's in place. We're going to push this down, and you're going to push this in at the same time. Now, you got to make sure when you do this that everything's lined up. Thing popped right on out. As you can see, this one's a little tricksy. Alright, left the spring in. We're going to make sure our spring, for Pete's sake, Brandon. And what am I going to do? I'm going to leave it all in there, because I do this all the time. Literally did this 3 times before I even filmed it, just so I would not do this, and still doing it, because that's the nature of the beast. Alright, extractor inside the slide, coming in. I'm going to make sure our spring's lined up. I'm going to set it down and start pushing that in. Once we have that in, and this is where it gets to where you're going to need the hammer. What I usually do is take and set it on its side, and I will pop just like that. Just a little tap. You don't need to hit it hard, because what you're doing is getting past the extractor spring. Now it's in. It's very, very smooth. It's a whole lot smoother. And then we're just going to reassemble and function test. So barrel, guide rod, slide. We're all together. Now I'm going to go ahead and fire. I'm going to rack while holding the trigger to the rear. Release, we get single action reset. Fire. Safety's on. Trigger won't fall. Safety's off. Trigger falls. Double action works. So you are good to go. And you have now replaced your stock blocker with the performance blocker and are ready to go to the range and test it out. As I said, Ned did this at the home office. This was our slide milling service. This is not a Toro, so this actually is milled with the bosses in place, ready to go. $100 on the website. Glock sights will be going up on the website very soon. They are suppressor height and will be MSRP of $100, but we are going to be having them on sale for $85 for the complete set. And that's going to wrap it up, guys. If you got any questions, feel free to email me at info@shepherdtacticalsupply.com, or drop a comment down here in the video below. Remember that this is a tool. Tools need to be used. Tools need maintenance. So get out there, get shooting, have fun, and really enjoy yourselves, but also train. Get some training. It's a scary world out there sometimes, and it's always good to have your defense companion running top notch. So that's going to wrap it up. This is Brandon. Get outside, get shooting, and God bless.